Every night at exactly 2:17 a.m., Adrian's phone rang. Unknown number. No profile picture, no messages before. Just silence. The first night, he almost blocked it. Hello? Nothing. Only soft breathing. Slow, calm, female. He waited 30 seconds before hanging up. The next night, she called again. 2:17 a.m. exactly. Same silence, same breathing. At first, it felt disturbing, like someone standing behind him in the dark. But after a week, something changed. The silence became comforting. He started turning off his room lights before answering. Started waiting near the window, listening to rain hit the neon streets below his apartment in Seoul. Eventually, he began speaking during the calls about his insomnia, his loneliness, his fear of becoming invisible in the city. She never answered, not once. But somehow, he felt understood. 3 months passed like that, every single night. 2:17 a.m., never late, never missed, until one night. The phone never rang. Adrian stared at the screen until sunrise. Nothing. The next night, still nothing. Then another, and another. Panic slowly replaced obsession. He sent over 100 texts, no replies. Then suddenly, blocked. Adrian felt sick, not because he loved her, because he realized he didn't even know her name. Desperate, he tracked the call location, an apartment building near the river, but when he arrived, the landlord looked confused. No woman lived there. Adrian showed him a screenshot. The old man went pale, then whispered softly, "That room has been empty since the suicide." 2 weeks later, a package appeared outside Adrian's apartment door. No sender, no return address. Inside was a black cassette tape, and written across it in silver ink, "Every night you stayed." His hands trembled instantly. There was also an old tape recorder, dusty, still warm somehow. At exactly 2:17 a.m., he pressed play. Static filled the room first. Then, his own voice. "Hello?" Adrian froze. It was the first call. Every conversation was recorded, every sleepless confession, every lonely night. The tape played for hours. Rain outside grew louder. His apartment felt colder with every minute. Then, halfway through the recording, he noticed something horrifying. There were 2 breathing sounds, not one. One was hers, soft, slow. The second, deeper, closer, male, right beside her. Adrian replayed it over and over. The second breathing became clearer each time, almost like the tape wanted him to hear it. Then suddenly, a distorted whisper emerged beneath the static. "Don't let him hear us." Adrian stopped breathing because the voice was hers. And immediately after, a man whispered back, "He already can." The tape abruptly ended, but something else happened too. Adrian's phone lit up. Unknown number. Incoming call. 2:17 a.m. Adrian answered instantly. Silence again. But this time, she was crying, very softly, almost trying to hide it. "Who are you?" he whispered desperately. No answer, only breathing. Then, a loud bang echoed through the call, like a door slamming open. The girl gasped suddenly, and the line disconnected. Adrian ran back to the apartment building near the river. Rain flooded the empty streets. Neon signs flickered across puddles like broken memories. Apartment 204 stood unlocked, dark, dust everywhere, like nobody had touched it for years. Yet inside, a candle was still burning. Fresh black coffee sat on the table, and beside it, a cassette recorder, still spinning. Adrian pressed stop slowly, then noticed the walls. Hundreds of photos, all of him. Sleeping on buses, walking home, sitting alone in cafes. Every photo taken secretly, for months. At the center of the wall was one sentence written repeatedly. "He sounds lonely tonight." Adrian stepped backward in horror. Then he heard movement inside the bedroom. Slow footsteps. Someone was inside. The bedroom door creaked open slightly, and a female voice whispered softly, "You finally came." The girl looked younger than Adrian imagined. Pale skin, oversized black sweater, messy dark hair falling over tired eyes. Beautiful in a fragile way, like someone surviving emotionally instead of living. "My name is Mina," she whispered. Adrian's chest tightened immediately. Finally, a real person, a real face. But something felt wrong, very wrong. Her apartment was freezing cold, and despite the rain outside, her clothes were completely dry. Adrian asked the question slowly. "Who was breathing beside you on the tape?" Mina's expression changed instantly. Fear, real fear. She grabbed his wrist tightly. "You need to stop listening to those recordings." "Why?" Her eyes filled with tears. "Because he listens with you." The room lights flickered violently. Suddenly, a second voice echoed from somewhere inside the apartment. Male, deep, calm. Mina. Adrian froze. The voice sounded close, too close. Mina started shaking. He found you faster this time. Adrian stared at her. This time? She slowly revealed the truth. Years ago, Mina used to make late-night calls to strangers suffering from loneliness. Not for money, not as a job, because she liked hearing people breathe. Hearing proof someone else was awake in the darkness too. But one night, she accidentally called the wrong person, a man named Noah. At first, he stayed silent too. Then he became obsessed with her. He traced her calls, followed her, watched her sleep. And eventually, he moved into apartment 204 without her knowing, living beside her walls, listening to every conversation she ever had. Then Mina whispered the sentence that destroyed Adrian completely. He never stopped listening after he died. Adrian wanted to leave. Every instinct screamed at him to run, but Mina looked terrified, broken, alone, and somehow, he couldn't abandon her. That night, he stayed in apartment 204. Huge mistake. At exactly 2:17 a.m. The walls started breathing, soft at first, then louder, like someone inhaling inside the pipes, inside the ceiling, inside the apartment itself. Adrian searched desperately until he found something hidden behind Mina's wardrobe, a tiny locked door. Mina went pale instantly. Don't open it. But he already had. Inside was a narrow, hidden space between the walls, small mattress, empty food cans, dozens of cassette tapes, and photographs of Mina sleeping, years worth of them. Then Adrian noticed the final thing, scratched repeatedly into the wall with a knife. If she calls you, he hears you too. Suddenly, a phone began ringing inside the hidden room. 2:17 a.m., unknown number. Adrian answered slowly, static, then breathing, male breathing, and finally, a whisper directly into his ear. If she sounds happier with you. The hidden room door slammed shut behind him. Darkness swallowed everything. Then footsteps started crawling through the walls, coming closer, slowly, patiently, like something learning how to move again. Adrian screamed for Mina. No answer, only the sound of movement inside the walls. Then suddenly, the cassette tapes around him started playing by themselves. Hundreds of voices filled the darkness. Lonely people, crying people, people confessing secrets at 2:17 yen. Mina's voice answered every single one softly. You're not alone. You can stay awake with me. I'm listening. Adrian realized the horrifying truth. Mina didn't just call lonely people. She collected them emotionally. And Noah was the first one who loved her enough to lose himself completely. Then the hidden wall slowly opened, and Noah stepped out. Tall, pale, eyes hollow with obsession. Not fully human anymore, but not dead either. He looked at Adrian calmly. She always replaces us, eventually. Adrian backed away in terror, but Mina suddenly appeared between them, crying, Noah, please. Noah smiled sadly. She promised she'd keep listening forever. Then he looked toward Adrian. Didn't she promise you too? Adrian remembered every silent night, every moment he waited desperately for her calls. And the worst part? He understood Noah completely. Mina stepped closer to Adrian slowly, tears running down her face. If you stay with me, her voice cracked softly, he'll never let you leave. Adrian whispered the question trembling in his throat. Then why keep calling people? Mina looked emotionally shattered, because deep down, she already knew the answer. Because silence feels worse. Suddenly, the apartment lights died, pitch black. Then Adrian's phone lit up one final time. Incoming call, 2:17 a.m. But this time, the caller ID showed his own name. The screen fades to black. Then a final audio plays. Hello, Adrian? Are you still listening?